Life is hard some days, and it doesn't always turn out the way we expect it in the moment. The secret I've discovered is that we need to remind ourselves every day that this is a long game, that this is a long haul, and this is a long and winding road that will take us towards where we need to be. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I'm Tim Windsor. Thanks for joining me on the Uncommodified podcast again. Today, I just want to get you thinking about something as you set off for your day or you're ending your day, you're on a weekend. I don't know when you're listening, but I want to get you focused on something that is so important for me and I believe for you as well, because I lose track and lose sight of things often. See, because I'm impatient by nature, I want the quick fix. I want the fast end game. I want things to come to a conclusion quickly. I want to plant something today and I want to eat the fruit of it tomorrow. But that's just not real life. Because life is lived over the long haul. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. My wife and I were watching something on social media recently, and it was a gentleman talking about this idea of life is a long game. And he was talking about our children. And, my kids now are 33. My daughter's 33, Melissa. My son, Chris, is 30. And what I'm realizing as I get older is that life is a long game. And sometimes you have a desire for something to happen in your life or in your kid's life, and you start evaluating it too soon. You start checking it when it's in the oven and it isn't baked yet, and then you start pronouncing judgment that it's half baked and it'll never be baked. And its problem is that we're just not patient enough sometimes to see what's going to happen. We become impatient and we try to manhandle or woman handle or just handle the situation and control it in such a way and think that we can cause growth to happen in unnatural ways or on unnatural seasons. The reality is sometimes you plant a crop and it takes a couple weeks to grow, and sometimes it takes a couple of years to go, and sometimes it takes a couple of decades to materialize. And frankly, some of the things that you want and I want in my life, you're not going to see in your life. In fact, they might come to fruition when you're no longer here. Life is the long game. And the wisdom that I've learned over the years and the wisdom I've learned from others who are older than me is that understanding that it's a long haul. It's not that it's like being a long haul trucker. It's not a short haul. It's not a day route where you get in your truck and you complete your route every day and you come back and you say, I'm satisfied I did it. It's much more like taking the long haul, the long distance truck approach, where you set off on a long journey into the sun with the sun's in your eyes and you're trying to figure out how to get there. And then on your way to taking your truck to the place you need to take it to, there's traffic along the way, there's obstacle, there's weather, there's stuff that's going to get in the way. But if you understand this and you talk to people who maybe are a little bit older at times, you recognize that there's a certain patience that is required for things to come to their fruition. So my challenge to you today is there a place in your life where you need to really stop playing the short game? You need to play the long game. You need to look at the long game and become a little bit more wise and patient in relationship to your expectation of when that thing is going to happen. If you have a child that you are having difficulty with, or you're concerned about, and you're concerned with the direction of their life, and you think that's the end of their story, and you've written them off, or you've written it and said this is the end, can I encourage you to remove that, erase that, open up the book again, put some more pages in it, and ask what the next chapter is in this story, this unfolding story of the journey of your children's life? Can you think about it in your business? Taking the long haul look in your business, in your project that you're working on, in personal development for you. Again, sometimes we want change to happen. I want change to happen. And because I'm so desirous for that change, I want it to happen now. But I need to take the long haul. Because sometimes we're going to realize that what's going to happen is the thing that we want, if we're not careful, we're going to pronounce judgment on it that it'll never happen. And in fact, we were just weeks away, months away, years away from seeing it. And we stop moving into it or pressing into it because we have decided it will never happen. So my challenge to you is, what area of your life, or in the life of somebody you know, or your business, or a friend's life, do you need to take the longer haul approach, the long game look to that? How can you benefit from that? How will they benefit from that? And maybe this is a message you need to bring to somebody else, somebody who has wanted something to happen in their life, and they thought that it's not going to happen anymore. They thought that it would never happen. And you know what? I'll give you an example of this because this is sort of what's got me thinking about this. My daughter, Melissa, is 33, and I'm really excited. By the time this airs, it'll be a couple of months have passed by then, but she recently got engaged to an awesome guy, and we really, really love him a lot. His name's Andrew, and he's a super awesome guy. Really great for my daughter. Very different in character and nature, and they're tremendously complementary and good for each other. But it was interesting because when they announced they were getting engaged and we went over and did a bit of a surprise party, my daughter sent me a text not long after that. And she expressed to me that in a way that I never really understood before. She expressed and said, Dad, I'm not sure I thought this was ever going to happen. I had decided a number of years ago this wasn't going to happen. Now, she's 33 now. And she's got this thing that's going to happen for her, and that's exciting. And this isn't about whether you're getting engaged or not getting engaged. It's more about this. See, she needed to take the long haul approach to her life, not settle, not give in to things that were unhealthy for her in relationships that may have been disastrous. Taking a short haul look at her life and saying, man, I'm getting this age, I got to make this thing happen. Because sometimes we're not ready for it to happen yet. And sometimes the person that we need involved in this, whether it's a relationship or a business transaction or whatever it is, isn't there yet. And the universe, the cosmos, and the spiritual entities that control the universe haven't constructed it all yet. Where do you need to be more patient? Where do you need the long haul approach? Where do you need to realize that you're not getting in, you're not a UPS driver getting in your vehicle, driving a day route, but you're a long haul trucker driving across the continent, across the world, and more patient approach will be wisdom to you, will give you more freedom, and you'll be able to move into the future understanding that life and a lot of things is a marathon, not a sprint, and you're going to need to resource yourself for a longer journey than you anticipated. I hope this message comes to you at a very important time in your life, and it gives you freedom to have more patience, to allow things to come to the place they need to. Thanks for listening. Have an excellent day, and remember, it's a long game. Live long haul, and the road is much longer and much more windy than we might ever anticipate. Cheers.